What's up, guys? West Coast Picks here, and today I did it again. I don't know why, but I bought another key cutter out of Craigslist. This one actually was up for $160, and I emailed the guy, let him know that, hey, I'm lowballing you here, but will you take $100? And he said sure. So I went and got it, and this thing is brand new. He says it's never been used. You could tell by the nylon brush, the cutter, which we'll take a look at in a sec here, and the fact it's still got the factory sticker on it, and the zip tie that they put on it for transport is all still there. This thing is brand new. There was no shavings anywhere on it. Very, very awesome. So I'm just going to grab a pair of side cutters here. I've not used this yet. I just plugged it in, and I don't even know if it's calibrated yet or not. Did it come calibrated out of the box or not? This is our little calibration unit here. It actually slides, rotates back and forth to come out or in, depending on how you want to calibrate this. And this is our little on-off switch. You can still see the bit of cardboard that they put in there for shipping purposes. Yeah, still got its sticker on it and everything. This thing was sitting in storage for quite a while. I'll probably get some goof off or something to get that sticker off, but it was sitting in storage for a long while, and the guy said he won it in a bet off of his buddy, Croatian guy, for $10. So it was like a $10 bet or something like that, and this is what he won for his $10. Anyway, we'll give it a shot here. It does need a little bit of cleaning. Like I said, it's been sitting in storage. It's got some crud on it there. That'll come off easy. I'll probably keep the Made in USA sticker on there. I'll probably try to keep all the stickers except for this guy. It's just a caution over tightening. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, let's get a couple keys out here. I'm going to try copying this one. Schlage. They're fairly well made locks. This is a Schlage brand mortise cylinder that I put in a coffin case here. You can kind of see in there it is named Schlage brand. So the quality is known and is pretty good. So Schlage cuts are they're 15 thousandths apart. So if your cutter is out, you will definitely know it. So let's see if we can cut an accurate copy here. One sec. Over to the blank board. And it doesn't have a fence or anything like that. So you probably line it up the old way, the old-fashioned way, which is what I taken to doing anyway, because the Ilco I have right now, the fence is a little wobbly, so I just line it up the old-fashioned way, which is taking the two keys and lining them up here. I could tell this one needs to come in a little bit more. About there. And basically, if you spin this, it should just barely, like, not even really touch. Let me get in close here and take a look. So I can tell it's out a little bit. It should basically just rub when you're turning it manually there. So I just finished calibrating my other one a few hours back. So let's get this one done now. It's nice and quiet. Let's see how strong it is. It's pretty strong for a fixed. Yeah. For a fixed motor, no belt, that is very strong. I'll give it one more pass just to make sure everything's good. good. That's our nylon wheel there. Turn it off and we'll see if she works. And she doesn't. So I actually obviously have something off. I will try again. Alright guys, this has been a bit of an ordeal to actually calibrate. So I was this is the adjustment that your original rides up against, and it's just on a disc, and you can actually turn it in and out. It's an offset disc and it comes back and forth as you turn it in and out. But at its maximum setting, it wasn't out far enough. I was still about a 15,000ths away. I put it on its maximum setting, and these look like a good copy here, but it's actually about 15,000ths out, which on a Schlag is good enough for it to not work. So I figured out how to fix it. Is actually the motor mount here and on the back as well. You can actually loosen them up from the bottom. They're on what is it, a 7/16 bolt on the bottom of all four of these posts here, and I actually slid the whole motor assembly forward probably only like a 1/16 of an inch, but that gave me a lot of slop. So now I'm actually right in the middle of this calibration disc, which is good. I've got a lot of way forward and backward to tune this thing. And basically, when you're calibrating these, you want the two things that matter is that the bow, the little notch, indexing notch of the bow there, is just dragging a little bit. So you can see if I push hard, it drags a little bit on that bow. You can probably hear that. Not a lot though. And on this flat part here, on the non-cut part, if you're pushing it down, it just barely drags on there. Just a little bit if you push on it. So that is pretty much there. There are other ways to calibrate these better, but that is, the quick and dirty method. So let's see if it works. I'm going to recut this key. It didn't cut, like I said, it didn't cut properly the first time. It looks right, but it's about a 15,000ths off. So I'm going to give it one more shot here. This thing might need to be bolted down. It's not very heavy, so it's actually trying to slide around the table here. So that's what we want to hear, barely touching. And that's the 15,000ths that I didn't take off the first time around. So you can see in the deeper cuts it actually really matters, but in the shallow cuts not so much. So that is all it took. Well, let's see if it works now. Yep, perfect. So that's how you calibrate this machine anyway. If you didn't catch it the first time around, because I don't think I'm going to show all that. I basically calibrated as best as I could. It took like 10 minutes of video to calibrate it the best I could, and I cut it improperly the first time. I might fast forward it and show to the improper cutting of the first one, but regardless, that is a good cut now. And it seems to work pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy that it doesn't bog down or anything like that with this little motor. I'm surprised actually. But this is a decent key. So I'll probably make one more copy here because it is the kind of key that I will use on challenge locks. So we'll give it a fresh run here. Works good in the coffin box challenge lock. Oops. And I'll go grab another Schlag blank and we'll make another copy here. Alright, so when we're doing a a copy on this. There's no fence, and I got used to not using a fence with my key cutters because the fence, like the first one I had, it worked, but you got to be really accurate with it, and it's usually just a lot easier to line it up manually. So you clamp in your first one, you put it in, and you put it all the way forward, down as tight as you can until it touches. Clamp it down, and this one you leave just a little loose so you can still move it around, and you bring it up. Obviously this is already calibrated, so we don't have to worry about that. When you're calibrating it, you want it to, when you're pushing on it, you can hear just barely rubs on it when you're pushing up on it. And then over, basically you calibrate it, so this is touching on the feeler here, and this is just touching the wheel. You can hear that's just touching. So that is a good spot. We'll tighten it down, and we'll give it a go. Freshly calibrated Ilco. I'm actually pretty happy on how strong this little motor is. I thought something that size would be bogging down, but it is not. A little flat tip there. I think there is a little flat tip there. Make sure. Yeah, barely took any off, but that should be it. Clean it up. And give it a shot. Perfect. So now I got multiple copies of an awesome challenge lock tape bidding, but that is the Ilco 027A, brand new. So new that it wasn't even calibrated. I had to, whoever assembled it probably at the factory, just slapped it together. And after I figured out that I could just move the mount bolts, I noticed that it was actually a tiny bit crooked. I don't know if you go back in the beginning of the video, you might notice that this was skewed a little bit this way. Not much, but it was enough that I had about 15 thousandths on the maximum when I pinned this thing, this feeler, to bring it all the way out. You bring it down, and when I brought it all the way to the end there, I was still 15 thousandths off, and now you can tell I'm fully calibrated, and I'm pretty much, well, just on the upper end of the middle, which means I have a lot of calibration either way. So that is perfect. And also when I looked inside here, where it comes through the body, I could see it was all pushed over to one side, and now it's pretty much in the middle. So very, very cool. For $100, I can't complain. I do like the idea of these little key cutters instead of these big, massive dudes here, like this Ilco there. And I'm not sure what that one's even called. It's I don't know, something. It's 240, that one. It's a big bastard. But this little guy, right up my alley. I like him. And yeah, who knows? I got all these key cutters now. Don't know what I'm going to do with them all, but anyway. Thanks for watching, guys. Later.